To begin, I want to say that a key for this game was provided by the publisher. I think that I'm done with Conan Exiles at its current stage in alpha. What's here is pretty good. There are a lot of bugs, and while this is fairly understandable, that doesn't make it any less frustrating. To its credit, there are almost daily patches for the game fixing various issues, but this creates a few other problems. Server stability and access to multiplayer can be impacted by this due to version mismatches. Steam will patch your client, but there's no guarantee that your multiplayer hosts have updated. Funcom has talked about this, mentioning that they're developing, as they have for Secret World or Anarchy Online, with the ability to update their own servers. Again, this is an issue with the frequent updates, which are a good thing, that should resolve as the game finalizes. There are game choice issues that have made some aspects of play fairly miserable. They're called hyenas. Their current implementation limit the ability of the player to explore and interact with the world. They apply move speed debuff and swarm in packs, and almost require you to play with others. This creates an issue if you're playing on anything other than a PvE server. It can present opportunity for the game to devolve into a sociopath simulator. While there are a great many people who enjoy these kinds of games, like Rust, Ark, Dizzy, and so on, they're not for me. To address the lowest hanging fruit in the game, yes, there are asses, titties, and dicks flopping about in the game. If this bothers you, there are censor options that limit what you see, as well as server options that allow admins to limit what everyone there sees. Pretty much if you don't want to see them, don't look at them. The character models are fairly well done. We've been modeling asses and titties in video games forever. The dicks offer a few moments of puerile amusement, but since just about everyone that plays has one set of genitals or another, it should pass quickly. It's important to note, however, that the men also have breast physics. Equal opportunity indeed. Graphically, everything looks fine. Rocks look like rocks, trees look like trees, crocodiles look like crocodiles, at least until they move. Then they tend to teleport about, even in single player. Most all of the animations for the humanoids in the game are quite well done, but the animal animations are bad, especially the hyenas. There are turtle guys that animate fairly well, but they're basically humanoid as well. Again, this is still early in the game, so this issue will be taken care of, I assume. One of my biggest problems with the game is that the desert here is not beautiful. I've lived in the desert most of my life, and I love much of the stark landscapes. Part of the reason I love the Fallout games is that they have beautiful deserts and beautiful wasteland. This isn't. It feels just like a bunch of rocks and yucca. The sound is okay. The music is easily muted, sounding nothing like Poltergeist music. The monsters sound fine, however all of the humans sound like men. The menu has good drum thuds while selecting things. The weapon sounds, though, are quite weak. None of the weapon hits have audio feedback that sound solid or meaty. To discuss game difficulty, it's really necessary to talk about the hyenas again. Their frequency can significantly inhibit the solo player's ability to explore the world. It's pretty much mandatory that if you want to explore deeply into the world, you need to bring friends with you, and the multiplayer has its own issues. I've played on some PvE servers and found there isn't a lot of motivation to help random people. This is a human behavioral problem, unfortunately, which the devs aren't going to be able to impact too much. I do have to note that the AI is very exploitable, which is a good thing, as otherwise combat would be rather difficult. As an example, I decided I was going to go collect an archer thrall, and it took me a very long time to capture her because of all the interference from the other AIs. With other players, it wouldn't be as much of an issue, though. The difficulty of doing anything in the world makes me wonder, though, who is the player supposed to be? A heroic figure that managed to survive and make it in the world? Or some random scrub? I have had a fair bit of fun with the architecture stuff in the game. Building castles and such has its own pleasure, though there's a bug as of the 16th of February that makes it difficult to place building parts. Beyond that, single player doesn't really offer me much. I don't feel much desire to explore the world because of how tedious it is. Other than some lip service to Crom and Mitra and a brief bit in the intro video, this doesn't really feel like the world of Conan. As of right now, the game is fine. It works. But I don't feel like I want to spend more time with the game at this point in the game's development. As I said at the start, there are frequent patches, so I assume that many of my problems with the game will get resolved, and I can revisit this later.